All right, welcome back to the episode 7 of Inktober 2024. We're going to do the word passport, but yesterday it was about this guy going up the mountain alone. Not sure, but anyway, Tiny Dot Ascents, hiking trails that bend and wind, blurred in hills. A friend? Anyway, back to today's episode. My ink was running dry, so I have to refill it. I use basically all sorts of brand, but they are all permanent. I've used Noodler, I've used the Atrimantis, and all sorts of brands I've tried. I personally don't really recommend a specific one as long as waterproof and you can draw, and then when you put watercolor over it, it doesn't smear. That's all I care. It's functional. Some ink clog more than others, yes, but because I have my Sailor, I tend to clean it regularly. I can dismantle it completely. If you have not seen the episode on this pen, I will put a link right here. Someone asked me about my reference photo. I normally do, my process is that I will do a search on the internet to look for ideas. And in this case, I did not want to sketch literally the passport in a hand. So I thought maybe it is a globe in a hand that gives you the sense of freedom to travel the world. You could travel the world virtually, like some of you I know. You follow me on my travel, and I really enjoy telling you stories. Or you could literally have a passport in hand and go globe trotting yourself. Anyway, that's a drawing. Let's see how we're gonna sketch and put watercolor over this one. All right. The first thing is to put the background. It's cobalt blue with a bit of a queen rose as usual. You know, the two purple that I make, one is cobalt with queen rose, the other is French ultramarine with permanent alizarin crimson. Both beautiful purple, but they give different value. This gives me a value of roughly around 3 out of 5, darkness that is, and then the other one gives me about 4.5 out of 5. So if I want a darker purple, the other combination, French ultramarine and permanent alizarin crimson, is my go-to. In this case, I want something light, just like the one you see in the photograph. So therefore, cobalt and queen rose it is. All right, once the background is still wet but done, I drop in a bit of cadmium orange and cadmium yellow, just for fun. And there's a little dot of sky between the thumb and the globe, so I decided to just put that in as well so that I don't have a mistake. But as you can see, sometimes I will color right over the line. It's also one of my tip in my sketch loosely book, and I suggest that you do likewise as well. In other words, don't be hampered by the line. Sketch over the line, sketch to and maybe before the line, and enjoy putting in colors, but follow the lights and follow the shadows. In other words, I'm looking at the shadows, and if the shadow between the globe and the fingers are one, I will put one patch of color. Right? That's not very difficult to understand, but it's very difficult to do because we are all, well, kind of uh, wired, from 2 years old to basically paint up to the line. All right, there's something to work on. In other words, to undo and unlearn. Not too difficult. Alvin Toffler, the illiterate of the 21st century are not those that cannot read and write, but those that cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Remember that. Time to unlearn some bad habits. Okay, so a note about color. I use mostly transparent colors. It's basically transparent except for the little dots of yellow and orange. Those are cadmiums. And then on the globe itself, I've also used transparent color up to the point where I'm about to finish it up. I switch over to cadmium. At least that's the plan. You need to be very careful with opaque. Cadmiums certainly are opaque. They are ghastly when you use in huge measure. You need to be very careful and use it sporadically. They are beautiful when you apply it, especially wet on transparent color. That's kind of my recipe most of the time. Well, at this point, I'm putting in the shadows. I'm again painting shadow as one shape. I'm not differentiating between the globe and the hand. That is something to keep in mind. The shadow needs to look intact, uniform. Unity is very important for shadow, because if you paint two different shapes of shadows between the hand and the globe, they look ghastly and they look disjointed, and they are just not unified. And in sketching and in art, above all things, strive for unity. Much like what the world needs today, we need unity and not, breaking apart. That's why wars are happening everywhere, right? So let's pray that we can handle unity, and in our sketch, we can start there. That's something we can control. And well, we can learn to sketch shadow in one shape, right? Stop being philosophical here. All right. Anyway, opaque on the yellow, while it's still a little bit damp, so that the opaque colors of yellow and orange are not too ghastly, and they are just sort of fused into the other shapes. I segregated the top and the bottom with a little bit of a shadow, very slight tint, but that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's sketch. Very simple, not very, very good, but yeah, at least it kept the day's creativity check. See you in the next one. Stay safe wherever you are. This is We Take Out. Bye.